A.F. Steadman, the author of the Skandar series. And today I'm going to read an extract from Skandar and the Spirit War, which is the fifth and final book in the Skandar series. I'm going to read from quite near the beginning of the book, and this is a part of the book where Skandar and his allies are sheltering in the rebel Eyrie. And the leader of the Wanderers, they're a peaceful outlaw group who usually choose not to use their magic in battle. Well, the leader of that group has called everyone together to demonstrate something very special. The unicorns took a very long time to settle as they reached the training plateau. Skandar blasted elements like a baby hatchling while they waited for Elora and Silver Soldier to arrive. Skandar couldn't really blame him. It had been so long since Skandar had trained alongside this many unicorns. His best friend, Red Knight's Delight, was equally as thrilled. There had been 3 flaming farts in the last 5 minutes, the stinking smoke shimmering in the July sunshine. "Can you stop Red doing that?" Bobby asked from Skandar's left, and Skandar couldn't help but laugh at how familiar the whole thing felt. "It's been 4 years and I haven't managed to stop her," Mitchell said with a shrug. "If you don't like farts, then move to the other side of the plateau." Bobby stuck her tongue out at him and then spluttered as red stinking smoke filled her mouth. Issa spotted this from Tsunami's Herald and let out a laugh, though it died on her lips when she spotted Matteo landing Hell's Diamond with a small group of other originals. Once the unicorns calmed down and the elemental debris stopped swirling in the air, Skandar spotted new faces alongside those riders who'd already been in the Eyrie for a while. Aisha and Dagger's Emerald were huddled with Art and Furious Inferno, as well as Fatima and Moonstone's Venom. The 3 riders paused their signed conversation to wave to Skandar. He also noticed there were more smiles and nods in his direction than when he'd first returned to the Eyrie. His protecting Margate had meant something to the mainlanders among them. Agatha had told him as much, and it felt good to earn that respect, even if some riders were still undecided. Even if there was one rider's absence he felt most painfully. "Skandar Smith, you're under arrest." "What are Kenna and Goshawk's Fury doing over there?" Mitchell's voice pulled Skandar from his thoughts. Worried whispers hissed through the crowd. Even though Kenna had fought in Margate too, apparently that hadn't been enough to change opinions about Skandar's sister. He couldn't help wondering what it would take. 5 unicorns were lining up away from the rest of the gathered riders. Elora and Silver Soldier were in the centre, flanked by Surfer's Demise, Jordan's dark grey unicorn, on her left, and Albert and Snowy White Eagle's Dawn on her right. Then, on Jordan's left, was one of the older air-wielders among the Wanderers, Otto, rider of Screech Owl's Strike, and Elora's second-in-command. And finally, on Albert's right, were Kenna and Goshawk's Fury. "There's a Wanderer of each element," Bobby whispered, "apart from Kenna, but I guess she could stand in for Spirit if—" Bobby's mouth fell open in shock. Elora, Otto, Jordan, Albert, and Kenna had dismounted from their unicorns and walked forward 10 paces. All 5 riders had raised their palms, which were now glowing the colour of their allied elements. "I thought only Kenna could do that. I thought it was the Forge Bond, but they're all—" Mitchell was rendered speechless as the magic started. Otto the air-wielder threw up his arms and a collection of storm clouds gathered above him before a single lightning strike hit the ground centimetres from his foot. Albert spread his arms wide and rotated on the spot. The ground churned to molten lava below him, leaving only a circular disc of grass under his boots. Jordan flicked his wrists skywards and hundreds of perfect tiny snowflakes sprayed upwards. He tipped his head back, laughing, as he caught one on his tongue. "How are they summoning elemental magic?" Bobby murmured. "They're nowhere near their unicorns." Skandar didn't have an answer for her as a web of purple flowering vines spun around Elora until she was cocooned inside them. Finally, it was Kenna's turn. Skandar had often wondered how his sister was able to summon magic away from Goshawk. Like his friends, he put it down to the sheer power of the forged bond. But it turned out the Wanderers must have taught her, making beauty even out of her wild, dark magic. Kenna was smiling as she turned her palm upwards, and it pulsed steadily, cycling through all 5 elements. Every rider on the plateau was utterly silent, transfixed as a colourful cloud built above Kenna's head. And out of it swooped a bird of prey, a goshawk, constructed equally from all 5 elements. Skandar watched the elemental predator soar over the training ground, beacon eyes of pure electricity, talons of ice, wings of fire, a body of pure white spirit magic, and a tail composed not of feathers, but a bouquet of colourful wildflowers. Then, as one, the 5 riders shut their palms, and the magic they had summoned disappeared in the blink of an eye. The goshawk winking out, too, like a figment of their collective imagination. The plateau erupted with cheers from the riders and shrieks from their unicorns. It was so loud that Skandar hoped Rex could hear it in Council Square. It was a long time before it was quiet enough for Alora to speak. This kind of raw magic has been a secret known only to the Wanderers and their most trusted friends for centuries. Many of you here joined us during the chaos of the skeleton curse, and I'm sorry to have left it so long to share this with you. Skandar could see Neve, Gabriel and Zack nodding along with a few more of the newer Wanderers. Some looked slightly hurt. Even he felt strange. He had never seen the Wanderers use magic like this, never known their biggest secret. And to those of you who are not Wanderers, I am trusting you with this secret, and I intend to teach you all how to wield it. It is a power that has never been taught at this training school before, and this magic's foundation is belief. There is no limit on your access to the elements granted by your destined unicorn, despite what the Eyrie might have told you. At the moment of hatching, you are joined in life and in magic, and I intend to help you channel the love in that connection, a gift from the island itself. A ripple of excitement went through the crowd as Alora carried on, her amethyst eyes deeply serious. The Wanderers have never used their magic in battle. Never before have we taught warriors to wield magic away from their unicorns. But it's different now. Based on the reports I have heard, I believe that Rex Manning is seeking to change this island's very heart. He wishes to rip it out and divide it into pieces so that he may rule in place of the elements. And so, Alora took a deep breath. The Wanderers will fight. Where before we delighted in the beauty of this place, now we will forge weapons to protect it. We will wage this war along Skandar Smith and his allies to keep the island's heart beating. We will fight for the island, for the mainland, for a future when we may again lay down our weapons and live in peace. A great shout of joy went up from the Erie's hill, and Skandar felt hope flutter in his chest. I hope you enjoyed that extract from Skandar and the Spirit War. Now, this book is the final book in the Skandar series, but if you haven't started the series yet, don't worry. There are 4 other books that you can read before this, and if you're just starting on your Skandar journey, then I would suggest that you start with the Fire book, Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. I really hope you enjoy flying with Skandar and the bloodthirsty unicorns. That was an extract from Skandar and the Spirit War.